The year is 2008. Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots has come out, and everyone is wondering how cool would it be if I could play as Raiden and either fighting or sneak around everyone. The developers agreed. So in 2009, they announced Metal Gear Solid Rising. However, the team met with difficulties in developing a game based on swordplay. So executive producer, also known as our Lord, Hideo Kojima, postponed its development until a solution could be found. The project resurfaced in late 2011 under its finalized title, with Platinum Games as a new developer. The game underwent significant changes in its play mechanics and storyline under Platinum Games' involvement. Although Kojima Productions retained responsibility for the game's overall plot and Raiden's design. Upon its worldwide release in February of 2013, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance was well received by critics. The game also enjoyed positive sales, with the PS3 and Steam versions selling an estimated total of more than 1.2 million copies. So why don't we play through it? We're going to be playing the game on normal difficulty though, and yes, we are going to be doing the tutorial. It's a pretty good tutorial as it teaches you how to ninja run, do basic attacks and parry attacks. It's pretty basic of a tutorial though. I do recommend you play this tutorial though. The intro cutscene then plays. Raiden is talking to President Namani, when out of nowhere they get attacked by Jetstream Sam and attempt to escape the area. But Raiden gets out of the car to protect the President. It then cuts to gameplay where you need to kill 3 enemies. It's pretty easy honestly, and then you rush back to the car. When you get there, you meet the President's guards fighting up some enemies. The guards win the fight, but not for long as Metal Gear shows up and kills them both. Then Sundowner kills a couple guards and kidnaps the President. Raiden makes it just in time though, but Sundowner escapes and gets the Metal Gear to kill Raiden. The Metal Gear boss fight is pretty simple. Just attack its legs and use blade mode a bit, along with ninja running to catch up with the Metal Gear when it tries to escape. You also do a bit of parrying its attacks. It's pretty good first boss fight and I liked it. Anyway, so chase Sundowner through the town and use ninja run, but joke's on you, the Metal Gear's back. The second phase of the fight is pretty good as well. You use blade mode a bit and also need to dodge these rockets. It's another cool fight, but I would be an idiot if I didn't mention the part where you run on rockets and run on a whole tower, and then cut the Metal Gear in 2. Meanwhile, Sundowner is confronted by a bunch of soldiers and jumps on a big train. Raiden is still chasing Sundowner though, so we need to get onto the train. Raiden makes it to where Jetstream Sam, Sundowner, and the President are on the train. Sundowner talks about how cool and epic war is and kills the President. Sundowner makes his escape, so it's just Raiden and Jetstream Sam. Sam wins by a long shot, as Raiden loses an eye in the arm. Raiden barely makes it out alive. Cut to 3 weeks later, we now have an enhanced version of Raiden's suit. Raiden's way is stronger now, that's for sure. Anyway, so we arrive on a beach and are ambushed by 3 enemies, but they're shockingly easy to kill. I killed them with a ninja run slide and blade mode instantly. Anyway, so we need to go to the refinery along the coastline. The level is mostly fights, it's filled with them, and it's what makes the level so good. Cut to a while in the level, we meet the level's mini-boss, LQ-84I. Apparently Desperado anticipated the move and designed a prototype AI designed LQ-84I to kill Raiden. Let's just say if you don't know how to parry, you aren't going to beat this boss. The boss is built with parrying in mind. In the middle of the boss, LQ-84I calls in help. clearly an opportunity to make back any lost help. It's a memorable fight, that's for sure. You then cross a bridge, but the bridge gets destroyed as you run across it by helicopters with rocket launcher attachments. And then it's another mini boss against a helicopter. It's the worst boss in the game. And then we get to another fight with a bunch of enemies. After a couple fights, we make it to an area where we can see Dolzaev and Mistral. We then slowly but surely get there in a huge amount of fights, some in city streets and some in a big facility. A while later we meet Mistral, the world's first e-girl. That's a joke in the script. That is in the script. That is actually in the script. I actually wrote that in the script. Mistral uses the legs and arms of these headcrab wannabes as a weapon. It's another easy fight if you know how to parry. Half the fight is mowing down headcrabs, the other half is fighting Mistral. It's also a good fight. I didn't die in this fight. I didn't even get my health lower than 20 HP. You then kill Mistral. Dolzaev then goes crazy and kills himself in an insanely big explosion. The next level takes place in the sewers. Raiden needs to investigate the research center that Desperado is affiliated with in the sewers. It's alleged that it's involved with human trafficking. There's a couple good fights in the sewers. This level has a bit of stealth too. Yep, this game is stealth. It has to have stealth as it is a Metal Gear game after all. The stealth mechanic is pretty basic in comparison to the other games. You can't crouch or go prone. You can only stand. But there's cardboard boxes. Yes, the cardboard box returns. It's a more simplified version of the cardboard box, whereas the second you move and a enemy is looking near you, you'll be sitting and have to fight everyone in the area. Getting back to the story, Raiden finds a child in the sewers named George. He tells us that kids' brains are getting taken out of them. After this, we have a couple fights in the sewers. After this, you find the secret facility of where the brains are being held. This area is where stealth tries to make itself noticed. Cutting cameras part is so cool. It's so fun. We then try to be stealthy and somehow succeed. We then get in a cutscene with a collection of kids' brains. Like a lot of brains. A lot. An insane amount. We then get another fight. After that, we become a head crab and get some info via a computer. We find out that the kids are going under VR training. We then fight the same guys we snuck past as a head crab. We then fight a boss that's a pretty good challenge. It fires rockets and bullets for its ranged attacks. It just swings itself at you for melee attacks. Really fun boss fight. We then get in a short little fight and then a cutscene where a scientist kills a bunch of kids with chloroform and pulls a gun on George, so Raiden kills the scientist. Farewell, evil Bill Nye the Science Guy, you will be remembered. The next level starts with Raiden driving while he gets caught by George. Then it becomes a police chase. Raiden then got caught by Boris. As it turns out, Raiden resigned so Maverick's reputation wouldn't be damaged by Raiden going on a mission to save the children. The police trash his car with a rocket and it becomes a fight. The fight is pretty easy as the police enemies are kinda weak. It only takes one hit with blade mode. Stronger enemies require a couple hits before you can one hit them with blade mode. Then you fight weaker versions of the boss we fought in the last level. They're pretty fun to fight if I'm being honest. The level has some pretty open areas. The start of the level is pretty open as it takes place in the city streets. Anyway, so we go into one of the buildings and get called again by Boris. This call is so important to the story, I just can't quickly say what happens in the call. Editor, play the entire call.
Raiden, what's your status?
They trashed my car. I'll have to go the rest of the way on foot.
Do you really have to do this?
Look, I'm fed up with all of it. Companies like ours, yours, bend the laws when it suits business. Why not bend it when it can save innocent lives?
Raiden.
Boris, listen to me. That VR training, they'll be warped into killing machines. They'll be set on POWs, civilians. It'll be one atrocity after another.
Like what you went through.
We can't have any more Jack the Rippers. You saw what happened with George. I'm doing this, Boris. I have to. I can't save those kids from becoming cyborgs, but I can stop them from becoming murderers.
So you succeed. So you get all the brains back. Then what?
Just so happens I know un great cybernetic surgeon.
Doctor. But he cannot...
You won't change my mind, Boris. This is my fight now.
And your wife and son? What of them?
They're in New Zealand. Safe. Rose would understand why I have to do this.
All right, damn you. You do realize Marshall has the contract for law enforcement throughout the city. They are the law in Denver.
Yeah, we've met.
Well then. Officially, Maverick Incorporated condemns you and your actions as unlawful. And a pain in the asshole. Now, increase your codec encryption. Do not worry about the lag.
And unofficially?
I'll do all I can over the codec to help. I do not like what those Mudaki are doing any more than you.
Spasiba, Tavarish. Spasiba.
We then get into another fight. It's not too long of a fight though. Then we get another even shorter fight. After this we get a couple other fights. The level is just filled with fights. The level is also one of the best ones we've seen so far. There's even a fight against a helicopter. It's non-stop fighting in the rooftops for a while. And then we go into a dark railroad. We need to go into AR mode to even see anything. Problem is that if you use your blade or even ninja run, your VR mode will turn off. So you'll be blind till you turn AR mode back on. This area wants you to be stealthy, but that's easier said than done. I love this area, honestly. You then get out of the dark area. The next bit has a really good environmental puzzle where you need to get a mini-boss down from where you are and find mini-boss. There's another stealth recommended area, but I got spotted so I had to fight everyone in the area. There's another Blade Wolf here. The Blade Wolf is still a little challenging. Jetstream Sam then tells us that everyone we've killed didn't exactly have our choice, which makes Raiden feel awful, so it's recommended again to sneak around here. You're really slow and your blade takes forever to actually damage anyone. We then get a legendary cutscene that's been memed upon for ages. It's a memorable cutscene. It's the memes, the DNA of the Soul cutscene. It's iconic. You've probably seen this cutscene even if you haven't played this game. We then get into a fight against Monsoon. The fight's really good. I really like this fight. It's a fight where you need to focus on parrying attacks. There's entire points in the fight where you can't deal damage to Monsoon, so you need to only parry attacks. You need to wait till you can deal damage. At first it seems like you can't win. I'd just say that the music for this boss really sounds like something made by Dragon Force. No, it doesn't sound like Dragon Force. It sounds like Dragon Force, but everyone was on crack. Anyway, so we kill Monsoon and enter World Marshal HQ. In the next level, we enter World Marshal HQ and get into a fight in the first minute. Also, you might notice I use the pole arm a lot. Like a lot. That's because it does a good amount of damage and damages everything in a special, cool and epic circle of damage. Also, you can break everything in this game. Well, almost everything. You can even break the glass to grab the rocket launchers. The starting area of the level is a pretty good arena. It's not the best arena in the game though. So Doctor hacks the elevator open so we can get through. In the next area, we need to cut down the power for this area. It's a really good fight area as well. It's one of the first things I think of when I think of Metal Gear Rising. It's a really fun section, and it's a really challenging section too. After this, we run through the wreckage as every enemy tries to kill you. And then we run on these flying enemies. It's a short but really cool section of the level. And then we walk into a Japanese garden in the middle of World Marshal HQ. Anyway, the Japanese garden starts off with a fight before we even make it through the gates. You can do stealth in this area, but it's very hard to do so. It almost forces you to do combat, but I have no problem with that. Combat sections in this game are really good in this game, so I don't care. Then we get into the elevator section. It starts with a little stealth before we get on the elevator. The elevator is pretty good. The elevator is a really good platform for combat, honestly. They throw everything at you, even two blade wolves, and they even try to destroy the platform. At one point, the headcrabs come back to ruin your life by trying to stop the elevator from reaching the other elevator. I doubt I could have gotten through the headcrabs without the pole arm. I actually almost died against these heavy enemies. After that, we get through a rematch against Mistral. It's the same boss, but we have the pole arm too. After that, we get surprised attacked by Monsoon. Yep, we're rematching the Monsoon too. It's a body double though. We did kill Mistral and Monsoon after all, so it makes sense we're fighting the doubles. Very good fight though. After this, we make it to Brain Room. Also, some funny glitch happened here, so a bit of the screen has this weird texture. And oh well. It's revealed that something is going to happen in 3 hours. So we end up fighting Sundowner. The Sundowner fight is pretty hard. Sundowner has some explosive armor that we need to break. You need to hit specific parts of his armor to break the armor. He also uses his pincer blades he used in the intro on Namani's guards. It's actually a really good challenge of a fight. At one point he does a fake out death and almost kills you. But we fly back up and throw the flying enemy at Sundowner. He flies to us and we chop him in half. So it turns out Armstrong used Desperado to distract Raiden while he carries out Operation Tecumseh, a plan to assassinate the President of the United States during peace negotiations with Pakistan to ensure another war on terror. So the next couple of levels take place with us on our way to Pakistan, and we're at level 05. This level is the shortest level in the game. It's only 15 minutes long, including cutscenes. So in this level, Raiden gets into a chopper piloted by Doctor. They talk for a while until they see two MQ-320s ready to destroy the chopper, killing Raiden and Doctor in the process. Doctor tries everything that he can to take care of the MQ-320s. Raiden gets out of the chopper to get onto one of the MQ-320s and takes it over. Raiden gets under the chopper and raises his blade to cut the MQ-320 into 2 pieces. It works and he jumps off the other MQ-320 and gets onto the chopper. He falls out and falls from higher than a skyscraper. And then we get into another fight. By this point you just get the super powerful pincer blade. The pincer blade does such a ridiculous amount of damage that once you get the pincer blade, the polearm is literally obsolete. It takes so little to kill anything. We need to escape Denver in this level and get to a launch site, so the level is pretty much just combat. He has a pretty big focus on combat. Also, you can actually sneak around the head crabs and not get noticed at all. No matter what you do, if you have something to hide in, you can sneak around the head crabs undetected, which is good to know. Ryden grabs a bike and rides out to the desert and gets to a launch site. This level is so short I barely have anything to say. There's only 4 encounters. The next level starts off with Ryden riding the bike into the desert while talking to the doctor till he sees Jetstream Sam talking to Ryden's modified Blade Wolf. Sam talks to Ryden for a while till it gets to a fight against Jetstream Sam. The fight is one of the best boss fights I've ever played in a game. It's just Ryden, Sam, and the desert. On my first playthrough, this boss kicked my ass. I had to use the health packs on my first playthrough, but not now since I have the pincer blade. The fight ends pretty fast though. The Blade Wolf holds on to Sam's blade in memory of Sam, and that's level 06. Pretty short, but very memorable. I love every time the Jetstream Sam's on screen. It's just good writing for the character. In the next level, we reach Pakistan. There's a couple of good fights in this level. Then we see the Blade Wolf crushed. Then Senator Armstrong comes out in a Metal Gear. Yep, we're already in the finale. Everyone's seen the Armstrong cutscenes, so I'm not going to talk about them. Except I will. So Senator Armstrong gets in the Metal Gear and tries to kill us. But joke's on Armstrong, cause we have the pincer blade. This Metal Gear boss is pretty good. Just dodge attacks and attack when you can. Or, in other words, funny big weapon versus funny cyborg man. The fight takes a good couple of minutes to get through. And then it becomes a 1v1 with Armstrong versus Ryden. Armstrong takes a super shit and makes Metal Gear fall to the ground. Turns out Armstrong is pretty strong. Get like the name? He can drop you from 120 HP to 100 HP without even trying. He can even break Ryden's HF blade. Armstrong sees Ryden as his ideal citizen, someone who can fight for what they believe in. Also, Armstrong really does not like trivia.
Fuck all these lunatic lawyers and chicken shit bureaucrats! Fuck this 24/7 internet spew of trivia and celebrity bullshit!
No matter how much you try to fight him, he will win. We then get the infamous part where Ryden punches Armstrong 100 times without being hurt at all. It's then revealed that Armstrong uses nanomachines to be so strong, as they harden in response to physical trauma. After this, Armstrong almost kills Ryden and also blows up the Metal Gear. Jetstream Sam's blade unlocked, and it's revealed that Sam actually did have doubts on Desperado, so he decided to leave it up to fate. The Blade Wolf comes in clutch and throws Ryden Sam's sword. The boss against Armstrong starts here. It forces you to use everything you've learned across the game. You take so much damage, you just need to use the health packs. At one point, Armstrong tries to regenerate his health, but you can pretty easily stop him by hitting behind him. I don't have very much to say about this fight, except it's really hard. Ryden wins the fight and destroys Armstrong's super heart. And that was Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. Your regular playthrough should be around 7 to 10 hours long. The game goes for like $40-ish on Steam nowadays, and I might actually cover some other Metal Gear games for a video. How's Metal Gear for the MSX sound?